is what it is. What it
Man.
is. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, Drew. We back. Welcome to the Double Dribble Podcast. As always, I'm Desto.
And I'm Drew. Man,
And
let's get
Drew,
into these
man,
first round
Drew.
playoffs. It's crazy.
There's been a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on um since we last recorded. I think OKC won the championship. I don't know if we had covered when Tatum tore his Achilles um last year. Whenever we may have it, but
Yeah.
I low key want to start there before we get into the first round of the playoffs. Before we start the live, um, they said Tatum not playing tonight because of his this knee injury. And it seemed kind of like unrelated, but Drew, you can get into what you think it may be for
Well,
those
yeah, I mean,
playoffs.
so the injuries on the other calf, not the one that he had the Achilles injury on last year. And
Mhm.
this is the concern to me about bringing him back early. I understand it's a great story for him to come back and have this amazing return. But the reason why you want to be precautious is because sometimes when guys come back, they don't want to put too much weight on that leg because they're not confident, that they don't want to get re-injured again. And so he might be overcompensating and putting too much weight on the other calf, and that's probably what led to the injury or the concern, the tightness. Why? Because he left in the third quarter. If everything was okay, this is why when I always was kind of sus when I heard the report that he was fine, there was no injury, and that he's going to be good to go for Game 7. And I'm like, why? Well, why would he leave in the third quarter and then not return for the rest of the game? Like that, that's me. And it wasn't like the game was completely blown. Like they
I
were
thought
they
he came
lose
back
the
in the
game.
game.
I don't think he came back. He didn't come back out after the third quarter. And
Oh, I thought
to
that
me,
was the
like
one.
if that's the case,
I gotta look back at it. I thought he came back.
yeah. But yeah, like
But
that
I
to
mean, they were
me,
already kind of getting
and
getting whooped anyway, so it was no point
yeah.
really for him
But I think he was like a 13. It was like
to
a
do the
13
comeback
point game. I
game.
think like 13 or 14 point. But and then eventually Missoula just pulled all the starters. Like he pulled Brown and all of them and just played the bench lineup to try and make a run because they cut down the lead a little bit. But yeah, the fact that he had to leave was a concern. I don't think you should even play with it. We've seen so many times now. Just last year, how many injuries happened? Achilles injuries. It was Tatum, it was Dame, it was Halliburton in the finals, and Halliburton was kind of
Halliburton,
saying similar things. He was saying similar things in
yeah.
the lead up to that injury, like what Tatum was saying, and then he ended up getting hurt. So
DiVincenzo
yeah,
just got hurt
it's
last like a week from today. I mean, a week
yeah, the same story.
last week. Well, yeah,
When's the last? Can you even
which
think
is
of
crazy.
when's the last playoff run that we've seen where there wasn't a devastating big injury that changed the potential outcome of the playoffs? It seems like every year now there is some star that goes down, some pivotal key
Mhm.
injury that changes the way things like end or could have had an impact on the way things went out because you never really know for sure. But I can't remember the last time.
Yeah,
It's got to be at least over a decade. Like I can't remember the last time. Like it's been almost every year. It seems like,
yeah, man.
and so
It's part of the game, unfortunately.
it's become
I mean,
more and
and,
more
and
prevalent
it's
too. Yeah,
yeah, like them tissue injuries. I think we having a lot more possessions, a lot of stop, cutting, sudden movements. That'll snap your Achilles because it always seemed
yeah,
like what they say, they feel like somebody kick you in the back of your leg. That's what they say
yeah.
is
That's the
the
saying.
initial
I hope I never
feeling.
feel. I hope I never feel what it feels like. but
Yeah.
but yeah. And
So,
so I mean,
but like, so how you feeling about this series as a whole?
Celtics and Sixers. So going into it, I had Celtics and six. No. Actually, no, I'm wrong. I had
Yeah,
Celtics
that's
in
what
five. I had Celtics in five. I had Celtics in five actually because I'm thinking about it. I said Maxey was going to get them a game, and Maxey did get them a game, and then I didn't really think Embiid was going to come back. That was always a possibility, but I was like, I
Or
doubt he's going to play.
game 2,
Yeah,
Maxey and Edgecombe, they went out.
yeah. And the reason, like, the Celtics defense, I still don't understand it in this series, but I mean, it is what it is. Like they had Kata playing like up at the free throw line and just in drop, and Maxey's
Yeah,
just coming off
Maxey
the
just
screens and
walking into.
he's getting walk in pull up threes. Like this dude is one of the best pull up 3-point shooters in the league. I mean, if anybody didn't know going into these playoffs, they know now. Tyrese Maxey is one of the best 3-point shooters in this league, especially off the dribble, and he's developed that to become like an elite level. So I don't understand the defense there. He's basically getting whatever he wants on a lot of those plays. He just got to make the shot. And I know that nobody saw them. Like VJ Edgecombs had some big games. He was humongous in that game too. 30 and 10. I think he's first rookie to ever have a 30 and 10 game. And so that's been huge. Paul George looking like OKC PG. Not really. But from the at least he's making shots.
Last game, he's been really efficient. And last game, I was like, man, Paul George he unwashed.
He unwashed
himself. He got the Philly jersey on. He looked washed.
Nah, man. It's almost like that 25 game suspension that he had for the PEDs or whatever really happened. That kind of helped him get through the season.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
this series been, I think, not really what I expected. Like, well, it was kind of what I expected. Like, I expected Embiid to come back midway through, but I expected Boston to kind of finish him off in 6, honestly. So, but how Philly started that game, because like Tatum, he started off like game 6 kind of hot, but how Philly, they responded and they kind of won the way that they were defending, especially like the others. And we're gonna get into my boy Derek White. Man, this dude Derek White has been pathetic. Not really just this series, of course, this series, but like this season been a huge kind of like drop off from him, and it could have had something to do with like Tatum missing the majority of the season. Because like when you're a role player, you can lead off.
It is kind of wild though. Like I don't remember the last time a role player's had such a swift drop off as like a shooter. Because as far as I know, he hasn't had any major injury. He hasn't had like nothing with his like nothing that I recall, like hand, wrist, nothing. He's been relatively healthy, and he was like a knockdown, catch and shoot, 40% plus 3-point shooter. And now he's like Russell Westbrook or something from 3. Like it don't make any sense. It's it's worse because he's getting usually still pretty good open looks. Like it's not like he's getting a ton of contested shots. And funny enough, like last year, I remember the last 2 years, he was making a lot of like pull-up threes too. Like he wasn't just like this dude was just hitting catch and shoot.
Like creating,
he was hitting shots. Yeah.
People were saying he should have been an all-star and
exactly.
Yeah.
And so like he's still a great defender.
And, yeah. He's still elite defensively.
But the shooting drop is insane.
Payton Pritchard may have taken at least the not his I guess his spot is like maybe the third option, on the team, like the third go-to guy, because Pritchard the same. But yeah, man, I don't know, like with Tatum being out and the pressure that Embiid, because Embiid been hooping since he came back. Like that game 5 really impressed me because he started off like brick. He was terrible, but then he started going at Kata. Anytime he see Vucevic, it's food. Because I used to watch the Bulls a lot, and I swear it was a stat. It may still be true. Joel Embiid is undefeated versus the Bulls in his career. Like I gotta look it up.
No, you're right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. And every time he went against Vucevic, he dominated him. So when Vucevic come in the game, domination. But yeah, I don't know, but it's just crazy to me because I want to recognize Jaylen Brown because he had a phenomenal regular season. Um, I saw something that said what would be worse, LeBron giving up a 3-0 lead or Jason Tatum giving up a 3-1 lead, and then somebody quoted it, and then they was like Jaylen
Nah,
Brown has
that's not. They can't do that. They
so
can't do
I
that.
swear they said Jaylen Brown has the easiest job in the NBA because throughout this year, Jaylen Brown was getting his credit as he deserves as being the player that was leading the Celtics when this was supposed to be like a gap year for them, and they finished as the second seed in the East, and that was amazing. He had the best year. Um, he was in the MVP conversations for a little bit. He's going to be an All NBA, maybe first team, maybe second team. We'll see. But yeah, it's like since Tatum is back, especially in the series, nobody really talking about Jaylen Brown. Especially like when I saw a number when Tatum is on the court in the series, Celtics are +10. Tatum on, Jaylen Brown off. With Jaylen Brown on, Tatum off, they like a -1. So it just goes to show like some more pressure needs to be applied on him, and I think like even with Tatum out, it's gonna be a tall task, but we'll see if JB has really made some strides, and let's see what Coach Mazzulla can do to help them to get this win because it's gonna be tough. The game starts at what, about an hour, so
I mean, my
yeah.
thing
So
with the Celtics this year.
what you saying?
No, my thing with the Celtics this year. So going in to the playoffs, after I saw the moves they made and they had a surprise season, everybody thought they were going to underperform. Some people had them missing the playoffs entirely. But the thought was that, they weren't really going to try and go for it going into the season. And so I think that a lot of the Jaylen Brown, positive buzz and accolades and hypes that he's going to get for this regular season is because, they overperformed the expectations. But that also lets people then change the narrative and do some revisionist history and act like he really was the best player the whole time. And that's where it gets a little bit nasty because you can make arguments for like certain series, but over the bulk of their careers, Jason Tatum's been the better player. But people will pick at the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, the NBA Finals MVP, and then because it was those two pivotal series, they will give him the bulk of the credit and then make that, be like, oh, he was the guy. He was the best player on the team. So there's always going to be that back and forth until, maybe Tatum wins it again and is like that quote unquote number one, getting the accolades as the MVP and the finals MVP. It's always going to be some argument that people are going to have there. And it's kind of tough on Tatum because as far as perception goes, I mean, like you coming off an Achilles injury and you really shouldn't get any, to me, I wouldn't really give him any criticism for going out in this series. I don't even think he should be playing basketball right now, to be honest. So what he's doing right now is to me it's like it's extra credit right now. But I don't think that I would fault him if they did lose this. And obviously I can't fault him for game 7 because he's not playing. Jaylen Brown, though, yeah, I gotta fault him because he's been playing in this whole series and he hasn't been playing as he was in the regular season. He had a horrible game 5. And he was complaining about officiating when he was doing the same things that he likes to get on his streams and talk about. He likes to talk about SGA and SGA pushing off, and he was complaining. He was pushing off and complaining about the fouls that he was getting. That like, I'm sorry, you were doing the same thing in that game that SGA was doing.
Jaylen Brown pushed off a lot.
Yeah. And he got mad. I think he pushed off on Kelly Oubre, and they called him for offensive foul, and he was complaining about that. I'm like, bro, like this is exactly the thing that you complain about with SGA. But to me, I think that the biggest issue for them going into this postseason was they had a lot of guys because it was a quote unquote gap year. They got a lot of guys that we have no experience, that have never been there, and that I just don't trust. And I've mentioned it multiple times, like I do not buy, and they got to prove it to me. And I'm gonna lean on the likelihood that they're not gonna do well. They're not gonna show me what they need to do come playoff time. That's the Shiremans, the Gonzalez, the Garza, even the Walsh, and who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody. But all these guys,
Kata,
all these role players, Kata, yes, even Kata. Yeah. And Kata's he's a solid big, but he is not Al Horford. He is
Yeah,
not
been there.
Kristaps Porzingis, even though they didn't have him, for that full run, but he had some big
What's the
moments.
other guy that went to San Antonio? For the big man that went to San Antonio.
Luke Cornett.
Yeah,
Luke Cornett. So he's not Cornett either. He's none of these guys. And to me, that was always going to be something that could be potentially picked at and exposed come playoff time. And we obviously know he has no chance guarding Embiid. Embiid just too like cerebral. He's gonna get him out of position. He's gonna draw fouls. And even though Embiid to me hasn't been that great, honestly, I think he was really, really good in Game 4. Like he was great in Game 4, shot making, hitting his mid range, and he was just punishing them in the interior. I thought, first game back, he clearly was not. He hasn't been 100% whatsoever in any of these games. You could tell it every single game. He might be like 60%, honestly. Like he is barely moving, but he's still just that much better than anything that the Celtics have. Like you see when he's going up for some of these shots, and you see like every time he gets bumped, any contact, this dude is crumbling to the floor. And I don't even think it's like, oh, he's just flopping. Like he actually looks like he's in pain and he's getting hurt. Like, or he's like playing like through pain in a lot of these games. And he just muscling through and making it work. But like he wasn't even efficient in game 6. He was really inefficient. But at the rim, he was still efficient. He was missing all his jumpers. And they were able to, lean on Maxey. PG had an amazing third quarter. Like PG's third quarter was really the game to me because
he was like
his shot making. Yeah. And I was like, okay, like this, I haven't seen him like go on a stretch like this in a while. So that right there, if they can get that in game 7, of course, and then it's gonna. Right now, a lot of people are probably gonna be leaning Philly, and that I don't know. When it comes to this Philly Boston matchup, it seems like a lot of times when you think Philly's gonna do it, something goes wrong. So we're gonna see though. I mean, they have they're in a position to shock a lot of people because I think nobody had them winning this series going into it. So
I absolutely didn't. But I mean, the way that they've been playing like these past couple games and missing Tatum, like Tatum is one piece that because you mentioned like a lot of those guys from the Celtics who haven't been in this position before. They had like solid regular seasons like Kata, Shireman, like some of those other guys, but playing in a game 7 and you missing somebody who's obviously the team's best playmaker. We're gonna get some of those guys involved. We're gonna help create open opportunities for them. He's missing, and so it's a big ask. I've seen Jaylen Brown in the game 7 without Jason Tatum, and he had good role players next to him, and he looked like he didn't have a left hand. So yeah. So I mean, the way Embiid came back, even though you say he's not 100% healthy, and I agree, but he still looks good. Like getting to mid range, still drawing fouls, still being a force on the inside when he can. Maxey still getting downhill when he needs to, shooting those pull up threes, and then PG, the way he been playing, like I think he's shooting, if I'm not mistaken, like 54% from 3 like this series, which is elite, which is beyond elite. So yeah, I mean before this this news from Tatum, I had the Celtics winning this game, but yeah, I think I'm gonna lean Philly. They gonna pull off the 2-7 upset.
What's crazy is we might have a 2-7 and an 8-1 because I know we got to get into it. Orlando and Detroit.
Yeah, let's stay in the East. Let's switch over to Detroit and Orlando. The series that felt like they've been feeling like a football game with these physical teams. It was kind of a surprise. Like I don't think a lot of people didn't have this series going 7. We know Orlando's a super talented team. I mean, we got Paulo Franz who got hurt in this series, but I mean they got Wendell Carter, you got Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black, Desmond Bain, They got like a lot of guys in Orlando. Low-key kind of like underachieved this year. Like a lot of people going into this year with saying that the East is open. Orlando, it's your time, to make a push. They traded all those picks for Desmond Bain. They should have been at the very least been a playoff team, like a top four seed. I would have assumed that would have been the expectation. The way they've been knocking on the door throughout the season, and just didn't amount to that. But they got through the play-in. They got Detroit, and they started off the series with a 3-1 lead. I think they won game one, if I'm not mistaken. Then Detroit won game two, and then Orlando was putting a pause on them. Game three and game four, Wendell Carter was outplaying Jalen Duren. The battle for, who, um, and I mean, and there was a lot like that. What you predicted, Andrew. We talked about like a lot about the Pistons, who a great defensive team, but they don't have enough creation, enough shooters, enough players to kind of take the pressure off of Cade offensively, and it was showing because like Cade, he was having a lot of turnovers. Um, the windows he saw were just create things which is real narrow, and Tobias helping Caris LeVert. Man, Caris LeVert's terrible. Caris LeVert's still in my head. He can defend. He's a better defender than I thought he was. But man,
nah, we need to talk about who really stealing money. We need to talk about who really stealing money and who about to be stealing even more money. Jalen Duren.
Oh yeah, this man. Jalen Duren probably is Jalen Duren gonna be All NBA? He might be All NBA this year.
Yeah, no, I think he's gonna be it. A lot of voters, media guys are giving it. We're talking about they had him on his ballot, so he's probably gonna make one of the All NBA teams.
To be fair though, he had a really good season. He had a really good season, especially like that time when Cade had to collapse lung, and like Boston could have probably caught them for the number one seed. He was playing great basketball, keeping them afloat. They was winning games. I remember they had a game against my Lakers when we was on the streak, and they broke our streak. Freaking
oh yeah, the Dennis Jenkins game. Yeah, that was the Dennis Jenkins game for sure.
Freaking busted.
We gonna get I mean, you already know how I feel about Detroit. I've been the whole season. I've been sussed on them the whole season. I don't believe in Detroit whatsoever, and this is no shots at Cade. I think Cade has done a remarkable job leading the team to a number one seed that I don't think is anywhere on that level. To me, they are one of those teams I've looked at in the past that are like the quote unquote not fake number one seed, but they're a great regular season team that is not built for the playoffs. Great regular season team that is built to go out, not built for a deep run in the playoffs. And that's because they rely on transition offense, forcing turnovers, and they're not good in the half court. They're also not really good at taking care of the ball themselves. And they don't have any secondary shot creators, legit secondary shot creators. Let me put the word legit in there because I don't believe in Dennis Jenkins.
Shout out to Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris has been the second best player for this team in these playoffs. That is not what you want. It's not a shot at Tobias because Tobias has been playing. He's been playing well.
I don't want Tobias to be my third best player.
Yeah, but if he's doing that for too many rounds or too many games, you're probably gonna go out, and it's very likely to happen. And so, I think that going into it, I just didn't buy those other guys. I didn't buy I don't think they have any shooters that you can really rely on. Like I know Duncan Robinson is percentage-wise a great shooter, but he's also somebody that's a liability defensively. And, I don't really trust him in a playoff setting, being able to stay on the floor consistently and just, give you consistent 3-point production. He hasn't really had any games where he's popped off, really popped off, So we'll see going forward, going into this game 7. I think that I got to lean Detroit because going into the series, I still had Detroit in 6. And a big reason for that was I do not trust Orlando. I think Orlando has the more talented team, just top to bottom. I think they have the more talented team. They have more versatile shot creators. They have just better bucket getters. They have very physical and strong defenders. Some guys that can play multiple positions. Yeah. So I think that they match up really well with Detroit, but I don't trust their decision making down the stretch of games. I don't trust their coaching, although shout out Jamal Mosley because he was talking that he was talking that mess right after they won the. I've never seen a coach be so happy to get a number 1 seed going into the playoffs. He's like, all right, y'all know what we gonna do. We know what we ready for. All right, strap up. And so we gonna see what happens in Game 7. But I think they need Wagner. If they don't have Wagner, then I'm all in on Detroit winning this game because to me that's a huge loss for them. And when the moment I found out he wasn't playing, I thought Detroit was going to probably win the game. I was kind of surprised that Orlando was blowing them out to that degree. And then they had, a historic collapse.
That was insane. Like, I think that happened. I don't know how much they won by, but I know San Antonio, they said San Antonio was the first team to be, when they played the Trailblazers, the first team to be down more than 15 and end up winning by more than 15 in the playoffs.
They were down more than 20. Yeah. Detroit was down more than 20. No. That can't be right, though.
They missed 23 straight shots.
Yeah.
Like, that's worse than what the Rockets did. That's way worse than what the Rockets did. When they missed all those threes.
Well, yeah. For other reasons though, which we're not gonna relive again. But there's some other reasons why. Why they missed, even though some of them shots actually went through the net. We're not gonna go into that.
It was on the floor.
Mm-hmm. It was on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not get to that. We're gonna get to the Rockets stuff. We definitely gonna
get to them. God
but
damn.
So for the second Game 7, who you got in that? You got Detroit or you got Orlando?
I got if Franz Wagner's out for this Game 7, I got Detroit. I got Detroit winning this game. If he's playing, no, I'm still gonna stick with Detroit because he's probably gonna be limited. And even though and going into the series, I picked Detroit in 6. I gotta stand by. I do not trust Orlando. They gotta prove to me that they're gonna actually pull this game off in Detroit because they've had multiple moments now in this series where they've done this. They had this game at home where they completely embarrassed themselves in that collapse. Then they also had in Game 2, after they shocked everybody in Game 1, Game 2, they had that ridiculous third quarter. I think they had 4 points or something like that.
Detroit, it was just demolished them.
Yeah, so they have stretches in this series where it's they look like they're the better team and it's not even close. And then they have stretches in this series where they don't even know how to play basketball. So it's this is a team I cannot trust in a Game 7 on the road. I gotta lean with the team that's been more consistent, and at least over the course of the season, they've shown I could trust them more. I think Cade will have a big night as well. He had an amazing game a couple games ago, 45.
Yeah,
so him and Banchero going back and forth. So yeah, we'll see how Duren plays because he hasn't really had a good game to his standards, at least regular season standards. So maybe this will be the game where he actually breaks out because he's been getting thoroughly outplayed by Wendell Carter. Probably last game you could argue he probably was a little bit better, but still
and not to say Wendell Carter has been all that great himself, but that just shows the level during playing that.
But he's been outscoring him, he's been out rebounding him.
Yeah.
So I mean that.
So even defensively, because a lot of times throughout this year, Asar Thompson, he's probably I forgot Wembanyama, but after Wembanyama, a top 5 defender in the league, I'll say right now.
100%. Yeah.
But throughout this year, he's been good defensively, but it helps when you have a guy like Asar Thompson who can clean up a lot of things. He's so versatile. He can take someone a perimeter assignment, and then he could also be a weak side, a backline defender, rim protector, whatever. But Asar, his assignment been Desmond Bane throughout the series, and it's been kind of leaving Duran alone at the rim. Like so, he ain't been as effective as we've seen throughout the regular season. That's something I noticed with Jalen Duran. But yeah, I mean Pistons got Cade, Orlando doesn't. Cade, it's just Cade, man. Cade is so inspirational, man. He was born September 25th, which is the best birthday anybody could ever have. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Cade. He's been the best player in the playoffs, other than SGA, but SGA don't have the volume that Cade has in this playoff. So I'm gonna lean with the Pistons. I think the way that they
has he though? Has he been the best player in the playoffs? I don't know.
Nah, I don't know. But I mean, he's been. Who would you say has been the best player in the playoffs so far?
It's actually gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy to say this.
You gonna say Scotty Barnes?
But now that I think about it,
Scotty Barnes been crazy.
It actually might be Scotty Barnes, bro, and it's actually
Scotty Barnes been crazy, dog. Hey, matter of
like,
fact, let's get into that series. So, hold on.
Man.
I predict Detroit. You predict Detroit. Let's get into the series, which I told you. Everybody listen. I told Andrew. I told him this series was going 7. He laughed at me. He laughed. He said, "Oh, this fool really serious. This fool really serious about this."
But you didn't even believe it after you said it, because you after 2 games you were like
not after game 1. I was like, "Oh, maybe I was wrong."
Yeah, because I'm like, after 2 games, I'm like, "Oh, they about." I never thought they were going to sweep them. I always thought it was going to be at least 5 games. I think I was sure that Toronto was going to get 1. I thought they were going to get game 3. Game 3 to me is that game when you go into it, if the other team's down 0-2 and they have any that's like that game where they're going to come out there and you're going to have their best effort. Dudes are going to be shooting shots, making shots that they don't normally make at a high level. The crowd's going to be behind them. The road team's usually going to get a little bit maybe not overwhelmed, but they might be like, damn, we just got blitzed,
Yeah.
And to me, that's kind of it didn't actually happen exactly like that, because it was a close game for most of that game. But then in the fourth quarter, it was like a 2-point game, and then in 3 minutes, it became a 15-20 point game. And they brought this dude Jamison Battle off the bench, and he hit 5 threes in a row. It was insane, just an avalanche of shot making from the Raptors. That's been the thing that's really surprised me and impressed me about Toronto, and I didn't see that happening. I expected them to force turnovers, get out in transition and run, but some of these dudes are making shots that they are not known to make. They're not known to be shot makers like that, and that's RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes. RJ Barrett's a good player, a good scorer. But he's not a really good pull-up shooter. That's always been his weakness. A big knock on his game is he struggles in pull-up threes, pull-up mid-range, and but he's really good at getting downhill, really good at getting to the rim and finishing, and he's been able to do that. But there's been games in this series where the Cavs have been able to keep him in front and have been able to wall off and not let him get in the paint. And this dude's making pull-up threes. He's making tough contested mid-ranges, and he's shooting out of his body right now. He's shooting 45% from 3 or something crazy like that. And Scotty Barnes is shooting over 40% from 3. Scotty Barnes, who's always had a big knock on him, has been his shooting. And his mid-range shooting, he's shooting mid-ranges like he's Kawhi. He had a couple games in the series where he was hitting turnaround mid-range pull-ups like he's Kawhi Leonard, bro. He was going and just that was the shot he was looking for. And so I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it to this level from Scotty Barnes, where his scoring volume has always been a question to me. His shot selection or lack thereof, wanting to take certain shots.
Scoring, aggressiveness sometimes can be because a lot of times he'll be passive.
Yeah, it's funny how it's worked out for them, because he's always been a great defender, and he's probably in that. You said Asar's top 5. He's probably in that top 5 with Asar. Obviously behind Wemby, but him and Asar, they in there. And he's been tasked with guarding a lot of different players in this series. And I would say the first couple of games, I think he was getting outplayed by Evan Mobley. I think that he was probably the 4th best player in the series. But the last 4 games, he's been the best player in the series. And so that to me, especially when the series went to Toronto, but game 3 and game 4, he was amazing with his shot making. His 3-point shooting has been good even in Cleveland, which has been a surprise. But I didn't know that he had this level that he could get to with not just like the scoring volumes going up, but it's the shots that he's making. And he seems very comfortable taking and making these shots, which it was always something I didn't know if he had it in him. And so like Toronto might have a dude. I'm not about to say he's a superstar, but they definitely got a star that has the superstar potential. And yeah, I think it's somebody that they should be building around. Like they've also like they've gotten some good young pieces that a lot of people don't know about. Jacoby Walter, he's actually really Colin Murray Boyles. That dude to me is like a dude that nobody knows about. Nobody's talking about. He's very, very very good defensively, like very switchable, athletic, long, and has like really good touch around the rim. So I mean, that dude right there, I think that's somebody to watch because he has potential going forward. Like I've heard like people mention like him with Draymond. I've heard people mention like that his defense, like he has like that level of potential. It's like a small ball 5 kind of defender. So I mean, we'll see going forward, going into this game 7, the way that game went last night, bro. I swear. that was because we all know I'm a Rockets fan. I'm a Rockets fan first and foremost.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna let you get that off. But yeah, I didn't. I was kind of because I was watching the Detroit game, and as soon as like the Detroit game ended, like it was a couple minutes passed by, and then the Lakers game started. So I was like, after the Detroit game ended, then I watched Toronto. And it looked like Toronto was gonna pull it off like throughout the game, but then Cleveland, they started getting some stops, and they ended up coming back, and then Evan Mobley made this nice drive and lay up, and that pretty much like sent the game to overtime. But yeah, I think I didn't really watch much of that game. I know you was texting me, you was complaining about Donovan Mitchell throughout the first half,
bro.
But yeah, man, this dude RJ Barrett hit a Kawhi shot, which is crazy. I don't know why the rims bounce like that in Toronto. I don't know what y'all got going on over there, Angel. But yeah, this man RJ Barrett shot the ball, went all the way to the ceiling, came back in.
What's crazy is like when it hit that thing, I just felt it was coming back in. Before I was like, oh no, he hit that.
Crazy.
I was like, boom. But like, man, I was watching that thing. I was like, no way. And no, but to me though, like this series, Cleveland right now, they're beating themselves. Like as much as I'm gonna give props to Scotty Barnes, he's been playing amazing with all the shot making that the Raptors have been doing. The Cavs the series should be over. They've made so many like just silly, boneheaded mistakes late in some of these games that have really just like let it slip right through their fingers.
Man,
ain't no way. Is that how he's coming in right now?
Yeah, he only doing it because he know Tatum ain't there. This dude never beat Philly, never beat Boston in the series. His career.
Yeah, but like the biggest issue right now for Cleveland, and we'll see, because right now it's been one of those series where the home team's won every game. And so if that holds, Cleveland will move on. But whenever and this is not to be just a Harden fan, but this is actually true.
Here you go, y'all. Here you go.
All right. This is true though. For the series, when Harden has been on the court, the Cavs have been dominating. They've been running away with the series when Harden's been on the court. If you look at the numbers, if you look at the quote, the plus minus, the net rating, the whole thing, when he's on the court, they outscoring the Cavs. I mean, outscoring the Raptors almost every game. Last night, they won I think Harden was like a plus 15. These dudes lost by 2 points.
Fact check that.
Right? He's either a plus 15 or a plus 13. But check that out for last game.
Plus 11.
And plus 11. So okay. But what and they lost by what? 2, right? Or 1?
Yeah.
2? Yeah,
Oh, wait, no.
and
Yeah, he's plus 11. Yeah, they lost by 2.
yeah, and look at everybody on the team. Right, look at everybody on the team for
Jared
the
Allen plus 8.
for the Cavs. Yeah,
Mobley -3. Mitchell -4. Strus -4. Dean Wade plus 10. And
yeah.
then all the other bench players with
The
negatives.
the trio that was working fantastically in the game was the Dean Wade, Harden, and Allen, and then they had either one of the other two guards or wings out there. But this is what's going on. This is what's causing the switch in the series, and this is where I got to tip my cap to Darko
Rajakovic.
Rajakovic. Okay, he's actually a really, really good coach. I'm not gonna say great yet because I got to see more, but this is a coach that actually made adjustments in a series.
Rajakovic.
He made adjustments in a series, but it wasn't just that he made adjustments. He did something different than what just like everybody does. So like the first 2 games, what was happening? The Cavs were busting them out. They run them out the building, and it was because it was the Harden pick and roll, and Harden was able to get to his ISO whenever he wanted. Mitchell was able to get to ISO whenever they wanted. Whenever they started trying to switch, because what they were doing, they had Jakob Poeltl out there. Jakob Poeltl cannot defend the Harden and Jared Allen pick and roll. He cannot defend the Harden and Evan Mobley pick and roll. He has no chance defending that, right? And if they switch everything, even with that, Mitchell and Harden are 2 of the best ISO scorers in the game. They're going to be able to just get what they want, draw a foul, get to the cup, kick it out to shooters. It's going to be too easy, right? Usually the most teams, what they do is they'll take away the pick and roll by this way. We're gonna switch everything. So he did switch everything, and he put in Colin Murray Boyles and had him play 5 a lot of the series since then. He's basically been their center alongside Scotty Barnes. And so that's a better matchup for switching everything. But then also he's having them trap and like sit in like the lanes on Harden and Mitchell. Like every time you see Harden on the 3-point line with the ball and he's dribbling, he has his primary defender. Then the guy then he has a guy next to him that's shading over. That's like sitting right in like the gap. And they're just like, they're not all the way over like a full trap, but they're like right in between. So like the moment Harden goes to try and make a move, they're right there to double him, right? The moment Harden goes to try and get downhill or go into a shot, boom, another dude's coming over, right? And he has to make a pass, but the pass is not an easy pass because they're not all the way over and they're playing right in between. So they can kind of recover to the shooter. It'll be like a shot where there's going to be a contested closeout, and you kind of got to read it and you got to know when to like make that pass. They've had a lot of turnovers. Harden's had some bad turnovers. Mitchell's had some bad turnovers. Harden's gotten better over the course of the series, and he's now, especially the last 2 games, hitting the shooters. When that double team is coming, the ball's getting out of his hand. He's hitting the guys right in the pocket for the shot. Last game, he hit so many guys for shots. Dean Wade, bro, make a corner 3. Make your corner 3s, Dean Wade. But
he was a plus 10.
No. He was a plus 10 because his defense was amazing. That dude's defense on Scotty Barnes in that second half, his defense was fantastic. I got to give him props for his defense. But his shot making is where I'm not gonna kill him because they need him for his defense. But what's costing them in the Harden lineups, where the difference is where you see the positives and the negatives is when he's off the court, they always have one of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden on the court. Mitchell is not processing that gap defense, that trap defense. That there's what he's doing. He's still trying to do the same thing he was doing in game 1. When they're sending another dude over there, he's not throwing the ball immediately. He's sticking with the ball. He's trying to go and dribble. He's dribbling into the double team, getting trapped. He's getting the ball stripped off of him, or he's trying to force up a tough, contested, fall away jumper, fall away midi, fall away 3. I'm like, bro, if you're in an ice situation,
that floater yesterday, it barely hit the rim.
Now that one was crazy. That one was crazy because he had his dude beat, and the whole time I'm like, he's gonna lay this up off the glass, right? I'm looking like he's gonna lay it up off the glass. He could have went all the way to the rim. And this man threw a floater. There was nobody there, and this man threw a floater. I don't know what he's been like in Toronto. He's been in another world. Like in Cleveland, he's been great. In Toronto, he's been literally in another world. I don't know what's going on, and I know what's going on. It's the defense. It's the defense. The defense that they're playing on him. he has not been accustomed to being played like that. And I'm be honest, I haven't really seen a lot of teams go with this strat, where it's not like they're not just switching everything, but they're sitting in the gaps on shooters like aggressively. And the Raptors have the personnel to pull that off. They have guys that are really fast, long, athletic, that they can kind of show for the double team or the trap, and they can commit to it. Or if you're going to throw that pass, they can try and run and swing back and try and get to the shooters. So that's been the thing. And what I've noticed is Harden is actually, he's dissecting that defense now, and he's hitting guys, and he's waiting. He's passing at the right time. He's waiting for the defense to commit, getting the ball out of his hands. He's not just trying to dribble into the double team every time or force up a shot. And Mitchell is trying to force the issue, and he's forcing a lot of tough shots when there's guys that are open on the wing, guys that are open on the corner. You just gotta get off the ball, and you might be able to get off the ball and get it right back to you because defense is going to be in rotation. They're going to be scrambling. You can get the ball back to you, and the defense is going to be trying to rotate. And then you got somebody coming closing out, and you're Donovan Mitchell. Get to your driving game because you're one of the best drivers in the league, and you can get to a drive and finish. But he's so trying to force the issue with these jumpers, and it's been an issue. Props to Evan Mobley though, because that was one of the best games I've seen Evan Mobley have. And I don't fault him at all for that loss, even though he was a negative. I think the reason why he was a negative is because he plays a lot of the Donovan Mitchell lineups. Whenever they start the game, it's Harden, Mitchell, Mobley, Allen to start. Then Harden goes to the bench with Allen. They stagger them, so Mobley runs the Mitchell minutes a lot by them together. And
basically what they used to do with Jared Allen and not with Jared Allen, with Darius Garland.
Yeah. And so to me, his shot making has been amazing. He's hitting threes like I don't know how long that's going to continue, but he's been knocking down a lot of threes.
Yeah. With that slow,
every time I'm gonna be honest, every time I see him shoot a three, I think he's gonna brick it. I think he's gonna
it seems like a swing set.
Yeah, and then it goes right in. I'm like, hey,
he in his bag right there, like before he was drafted. So
because I look at his shot and his shot. I mean, it's
like a slow wind,
it's so slow. It looks like it's not even gonna make it. Like that's gonna be an air ball or something. And then when he hits it, but bro was hooping, and I'm not gonna be one to the refs are not why they lost that game whatsoever. But if people did give him some criticism because at the last play of the game, Raptors were up one, and Cavs were up one. And all they had to do was inbound the ball and get fouled and go to the free throw line. Dennis Schroeder gets the ball. He's playing with it in the backcourt, running around, doing too much. He finally decides to throw it across the half-court line. He throws it to Evan Mobley, and Evan Mobley catches the ball, and it gets hit. And I guess it goes off of him is what they're saying. We got to look at the 2-minute report. But here's the thing. He was getting fouled that whole play. Even on the catch, Scott, if you watch, you see Colin Murray Bowles is literally holding him like this. This is not an exaggeration. Colin Murray Bowles is holding
NBA's last 2-minute report acknowledged 2 misses by refs in Cavs' controversial Game 6 loss.
I bet you Evan Mobley's getting fouled.
That's another website. That was trying to make me pay.
Nah, there should be something to see for free. But I saw that last play. I don't know if they're gonna put it in the report or whatever, but yeah, Colin Murray Bowles was literally just hugging. He had both his arms like this locked around the waist and body of Evan Mobley as Evan Mobley was trying to catch that ball. And the rest didn't call nothing. And then he lost the ball out of bounds. Or I don't even know if it for sure went off him, but he lost the ball. Either way, it should have been a foul, and that should have been free throws. But they didn't call it. It was turnover, Toronto basketball, and then RJ Kawhi Leonard 3 is what happens. But that's not why they lost the game.
And momentarily brings his hands to Harden's body before immediately removing them during the drive. The contact is marginal. So what do they call? Foul?
No, it should be like it should either be correct non-call CNC or incorrect non-call.
Yeah, it's like correct non-call.
Yeah.
And CC means what?
Just correct call. So if it's a foul call they made that was correct.
But they also on CNC
So there's no
or
incorrect
CC.
there's no incorrect non-call.
Oh wait, I see one. Murray to fully clear the lane and is in the paint for long without
That's whatever.
Imminently actively
That's whatever. You
guarding
can call
an opponent.
Yeah, you can call that all the time though. I'm not trying to too much on it. To me, I want to see if they gonna say anything about. I want to see if they gonna say anything about the last.
Seconds. Oh, I said Barrett took 5 seconds to inbound the ball.
What play was that?
30. I guess the Raptors were taking it out with 33 seconds left.
I didn't even pay attention to that one, but
yeah, they also
that's
either correct non-call or correct call.
The one I was looking for was the Evan Mobley turnover. The Evan Mobley, they don't say nothing about that. With less than 25 seconds left or something like that.
Oh, the ball before the ball goes out of bounds and is currently awarded to Toronto. This is with 11 seconds in overtime.
Wait, and they don't say nothing about no foul or nothing? Bruh.
Correct call.
Hold on a second. That's nasty. That's nasty work.
But what's crazy in this series, Toronto missing a best scorer, who is a guy that's
everybody thought he was the best scorer.
Well, I mean,
everybody thought he was their best scorer. He might not be their best scorer when it really comes down to it.
Well, I mean, throughout the regular season, he's their best scorer. He's their best, whatever you want to call it, shooter, shot creator.
The crazy thing? This might sound crazy, but this is how bad Brandon Ingram's been in this series. He's been so bad that I feel like it's almost been a benefit to the Raptors that he's been this bad, because Scotty Barnes is being forced to be this great, and he's actually delivering. Because if Brandon Ingram was, having a better series and making some of these shots, I don't think Scotty Barnes would be playing as aggressive and taking some of the shots that he's taking. Yeah, I feel like they would just be giving him the ball, and Scotty Barnes puts so much more pressure on the defense than Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram, when he has it going, he gonna make 10 mid-range shots, and he might throw in one or two threes, maybe not, but he gonna make 8 or 9 contested, tough fall away mid-range shots. It don't matter who guarding him, he gonna make those type of shots, right? But it's not he's not really putting you in foul trouble. He's not really making your defense have to really rotate and collapse the defense. No, it's damn, this dude is having a great shot making that, It's stuff like that. Scotty Barnes, when he's on and doing what he's capable of doing, and he's making shots, it's bro, this dude's getting to the rim at will. He's pulling up from mid-range, hitting that too, and now he's making threes. You can't cover him with one guy. You gotta just hope he's gonna start missing it. I think don't get me wrong, I think they should still cover one guy, because you gotta just lean on that. You gotta hope he's gonna start, coming back down to earth at some point. But when he's doing all the stuff he's capable of doing, it's a bigger problem. Even RJ Barrett, to me, if RJ Barrett's got his jumper going, he's a tougher cover than Brandon Ingram. The question is if he got that jumper going, and he's because when he's had that jumper going, he's able to get downhill better than Brandon Ingram.
Nah, I wouldn't go there. Scotty,
yes. Bro, RJ Barrett's
talking about because RJ can still got the physicality aspect and
to get to the rim, get to the foul line.
But he don't even have the shot create. If his jumper's falling, it's it's not gonna be pull up jumpers or step back jumpers or post fades. It's gonna be catch and shoot. After Scotty Barnes penetration or someone doubling on BI or something like that. Not saying RJ can't create his own shot, but Brandon.
I have to look at the numbers, but Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta look at his numbers, but I feel like his pull-up shooting has been good in this series, and so it's like,
Well, I mean that last one was that a pull-up shot or that was like
here we go. This is the play where Evan Mobley lost the ball out of bounds.
Oh, no foul.
Do you see what Colin Murray is doing, bro? How is that just out of bounds on Evan Mobley? Look at this man. This man is straddling this dude. Got two arms wrapped against his. Look what he doing to this man's body. This is egregious. This is disgusting. Look what he doing. He got this man in a takedown. Look at Scott. Look at Evan Mobley's face. He like, what the hell?
Nah,
yeah, like to me, that's not why they lost the game, but that's a wild no call right there. Like, yeah, like if you gonna call it out of bounds, they throw the ball to him, you gonna call it out of bounds on him, you gotta call that foul. But yeah, like we gonna see game 7. It has been a home series, so we will see if that holds. I'm gonna lean to Cleveland closing them out in 7.
Yeah, I feel I'm gonna lean Cavs. I'm gonna lean with the more experience.
I feel like some of the shooting variance in this series has been insane because nobody would think that the Raptors would be shooting better from 3 than the Cavs through 6 games. The Raptors are out shooting them. The Raptors are out shooting them from 3. And they're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. I think they're like bottom 10 or something like that. They're like very similar to Detroit in that aspect where like they don't really have a lot of like great 3-point shooters. But they have been turning the ball over a lot, and they've been getting a lot of transition threes. So that's been a help right there. But we'll see.
What would be the bigger upset to you if Toronto wins or if Orlando wins?
Honestly, if Toronto wins. If Toronto wins to me. Because
going to the final.
Yeah, for me, the way I look at these teams, I've been extremely suspect on Detroit going in.
Yeah.
And there's certain teams that, like I said, I told you, I thought if Detroit got Miami, I would pick Miami. I would straight up pick Miami. I would have Miami in 6 if they had gotten Miami. Because I trust Miami's like decision making and coaching to take advantage of some of the deficiencies that Detroit has. I don't trust Orlando like that. And so that's a big part of it. But yeah, I do think that I wasn't surprised because even in this series, I had Orlando losing in 6 to Detroit. I had Cavs winning in 5, right? And so it's going 7. And a couple of these games, yeah, it was like a coin flip, could have gone either way. But I did not think it was going to be this competitive when it comes to like the shot making. I thought that the Cavs had a clear edge when it came to the shot making with Harden and Mitchell. And shockingly, Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett have been like, I don't want to say it, like they've been somewhat matching them on that end. Although like it's been different because the way that the Cavs defend is not the same way that the Raptors defend. Obviously, the Raptors defense is much better on the perimeter. And the Cavs kind of concede some of these shots. Like they're kind of like shelled up and like, we want you to shoot and we just going to try and play you for the drive. But we'll see what happens in game 7. If the Cavs don't turn the ball over and they take care of the basketball and they win the possession battle, they'll win the game. That's really been the series, honestly. That's been like the very simple thing is a lot of people just look at, who made more threes, stuff like that. That's a part of it sometimes. But in this series, it's literally been who's winning the possession battle. Cavs win the possession battle, they win the game. The Raptors win the possession battle, turn them over too much, get extra second chance opportunities, they win the game. Because that's their strength. The Raptors' strength is getting out and running in transition, turning the teams over, and that's how they have a chance in this series. And we gonna see.
That possession battle is insanely important because first thing if I don't like watch a game or even like games I do watch, if I'm looking at the numbers after the game, the first thing I look at is the rebounds. I look at rebounds and I look at
turnovers.
Yeah, and that most of the time, whoever wins those battles, that'll tell you who wins the game. Like without
unless you're the Houston Rockets.
Yes. But we can transition over to that series.
Man.
Should you mention? Oh wait, I got Cavs in 7 too. By the way, I'm gonna stick with my position with my prediction that I
This
said
guy.
from the beginning that I was dog crazy, but Cavs in 7.
I'm channeling Terrence Bud Crawford for Game 7 for
Oh
these
man,
Game 7s. Yeah.
but but yeah, we can transition over to the Rockets. We were lucky enough to be able to go to Game 3 of that series, which was a fun night.
Man.
Well, at least for me, it was a fun night.
You know what had me the most sick about that night? Actually had me like the most like it was like okay, I won't say the most. It was second most
I
because
got some stories to tell about that night.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, we probably post some clips at some point on here. But my the most sick I was about that night was the Reed Shepherd thing, obviously. Because
yeah,
that was we gonna get into it. That was disgusting. But the second most sick thing was the amount of Lakers fans that were in there cheering. When the Lakers went up early, they went up by like, I don't know, was it like 15 or something like that? And there were so many Lakers fans just losing their minds when LeBron passed to Bronny. They were just like, it was actually nasty because the Rockets called a timeout. They were going to the bench, and you heard a huge applause, and it was just Lakers fans, and it was so nasty. You just saw like they were looking around. It was like they were like,
that was like
damn.
the biggest when LeBron threw that lob to Bronny. That was like the biggest crowd pop from like the Lakers side of it, like throughout the game. Like even from you, like, you seen how I reacted. Like
I was
like,
going, when that happened. I'm so glad the Rockets came back, took the lead, and then we started, getting on their ass and looked like we were gonna win the game because then the crowd came alive and it was like it was all Rockets.
Yeah.
Lakers fans were quiet as hell, quiet as hell. There wasn't a peep out of them dudes. And then of course then we had the disaster class from Reed Shepherd to get everybody back hype again, and I'm over here losing my mind and. Ime just keeps rolling them out there, like, all right, man, go ahead and take it. This is your chance. Prove yourself.
The funniest thing, so before we went to the stadium, across the street, there were like these I don't know what they were like, Jehovah's Witnesses or I don't know, but they was like preaching the Bible. They were saying, come to Christ, all this. Repent from your sins. You know the people out there with the microphones and the speakers and all that, right?
Yeah, the judgment day is coming.
And then Andrew was like, look at Jaden Ivey over there with his people, and so that was funny. But then after the game, Andrew, I'm glad we had to walk in the other way. This two Andrew said, he said, I'm gonna get the mic and I'm gonna say, he said, I'm gonna get the mic. I'm gonna say Reed Shepherd is the Antichrist.
Man, he sold the season, man. He sold the season. We're supposed to be up 3-2 after that game.
Oh my god.
We would have been up 3-2 if he didn't sell that one right there, man.
No. You would have been up 2. You would have been up 3-2. You would have been up 3-2.
Yeah, we would have been up 3-2. Stop playing.
Yeah. It would have been 2-1. What are you talking about?
No, because we would have won 3 in a row. We would have won game 3, 4, and 5.
Nah, so you don't know if you would have won game 4.
Yeah, we would have won.
Definitely. Because look, if y'all went up 2-1, Austin Reeves would have came back.
No, not 2-1. We would have won up. It would have been 1-2.
If y'all went, if you would have made it 2-1, Austin Reeves would have came back in game 4. Let's say y'all win game 4. Cool. Now Austin Reeves is really back for game 5. He in the back in the starting lineup. You don't know. You can't predict those things. You can't predict those.
It ain't about Austin Reeves, all right. It ain't about Austin Reeves.
You can't predict those things because I think
we saw Austin Reeves. We saw Austin Reeves come back and we lost that game regardless. It ain't about Austin Reeves. I mean, we won that game. We won game 5.
But Austin Reeves would have if the Lakers if it was 2-1, Austin Reeves comes back in game 4. When it's 3-0, he don't gotta come back.
Nah.
You don't gotta bring him back when it's 3-0. We didn't bring him back until we lost the game. So But yeah, I think like the Rockets, it's crazy because the Rockets, like we were talking about, was dominating the possession battle. They was dominating the Lakers on the glass, dominating them in the turnover battle. This fool, LeBron was turning the ball over crazy in games 3 and 4. Marcus Smart was turning the ball over crazy the whole series. Like, man, game 5, he was throwing some of the craziest passes I ever seen in my life. He was
Yeah,
just giving the
but also
ball to the Rockets.
yeah, there's also crazy stuff happening. Like Luke Kennard was shooting out of his body. This
Yeah,
man was hitting like every single 3-point shot. I think Marcus Smart was averaging like 25 through the first 3 games, something stupid.
yeah, Marcus
And
Smart
so like,
was going crazy. Rui
yeah, so there's
Hachimura, I saw something that said Rui Hachimura is the best 3-point shooter in playoff history, like percentage wise. Like, look at his. I gotta find, the stat, but Rui's going crazy, especially like yesterday in the closeout game. I feel like he wasn't missing when he steps into those pull up middies. That's like almost automatic. But like I do want to give some shout out to a player who I've been kind of disrespecting. That's DeAndre Ayton because he started off the series good versus Sengun, but then I feel like games 2, 3, 4, like Sengun was kind of like killing them. Especially 3 and 4 was
bro, game
dominating.
3 Sengun. That was just we were watching a masterclass. The man was putting on. That was one of his best.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, he was going
Since when do we see Sengun do a pick six?
Yeah, and he almost dunked on LeBron.
Dunky and LeBron coming from behind. I'm like, man, this dude was.
Yeah, when that happened, I said, okay, yeah, they about to win. Because I think LeBron had just missed a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron had just missed. No, I think LeBron had just missed a 3, or like after that, LeBron came and missed a 3. I don't know. No, that was before the 3 because
he missed 3 after that.
yeah, LeBron threw the turnover. Sengun went and dunked it. Lakers called timeout. Rockets up 6. Cool. LeBron come down. He missed a 3.
And then
Rockets rebound. They think we're about to foul.
Jae'Sean Tate.
Then Jae'Sean Tate happened.
Who also
was Jae'Sean Tate? Jabari Smith.
Well, no, Jabari Smith threw the turnover.
Yeah,
but Jae'Sean Tate. But what was worse than the turnover was the Jae'Sean Tate foul on the 3-point shot of Marcus Smart. That to me,
I mean, you could say that, but dude, you just dribble the ball up. Like we wasn't getting pressured. Like the Lakers gotta foul you.
But no,
like the Lakers they was kind of like Marcus Smart was kind of watching to see if y'all go do something stupid, and he did.
You know what? No, but I still follow Jae'Sean Tate the most for that because Jabari Smith was having an amazing game. And yes, Jabari Smith passed that ball to Emmanuel. It was a bad pass, dumb pass. But you know who got the rebound and gave the ball to Jabari Smith right there? Jae'Sean Tate. Jae'Sean Tate got the rebound and he gave the ball. He gave the ball to Amen. You gave the ball to Jabari.
Like the best free throw shooter.
No. We up 6. We up 6, y'all. Foul. We up 6. We just gotta go take care of the ball. We probably gonna make at least one free throw. We up 6. It's like it's not a 1-possession game. It's a 2-possession game, and we make a free throw. It's a 3-possession game, and we have the shot clock.
It says Celtics will start White, Shireman, Brown, Harper Jr., and Garza. What happened to Cater? What happened to Sam Hauser?
I guess Garza gonna be they trust Garza more on Embiid. But
hey man, and what's his name? Joe Mazzulla, I trust. I like Joe Mazzulla as a coach.
Nah, they're probably gonna just have Garza space the floor and maybe try and win that way. I don't know if like just maybe pull Embiid out the paint. That's gonna be a part. It's maybe it's an offensive switch.
Yeah,
they're gonna try. They're gonna try and outscore him. But I mean, to me, yeah, I fall Jae'Sean Tate because I remember I watched that play so many times now. He gets the rebound. Amen's not all the way down up the floor yet. They're also in the backcourt. Amen's on the left side. Jabari's right next to him, but he could have easily just passed to Amen. Nobody was on Amen, right? He gives the ball to Jabari. Jabari is not a point guard. He's not normally, a ball handler like that. So
shouldn't be in that position.
Yeah, he's in a position where he's not comfortable, and he just tries to like get the ball up to the point guard fast. Amen also should have just came back and get the ball, bro. Like, you in the point guard position, you need to come get the ball.
Was Reed on the court at that time? Or he was pulled off for defense?
I can't remember if he was on the court. I think he wasn't on the court. Because I think he did pull him. He pulled because he subbed there. No, he wasn't, because he subbed him back in. He subbed him back in for the next one, which we know what happened. But yeah, like he could have gave the ball to him, man, right out the gate. But he gave Jabari, and then Jabari just starts dribbling, and then he just kind of pausing, like he's like, oh, I need to pass this to a man. I need to get up the court, like just like has like a brain fart, whatever. Throws a pass that's clearly like not a good pass. But a man is running up the sideline. Like, a man, why are you running up the sideline? You the point guard. You're supposed to be the ball handler. Come get the ball. And so he throws it. Just this is the problem with the Rockets not getting a point guard during the season, because we got a lot of dudes that still have these habits of not being point guards or not being ball handlers, where you have a man who's not coming back to get the ball and running up the sideline like he's a wing, and you got Jabari handling the ball who's not comfortable in that position, and he throws the ball and you get a turnover. And then you got Jae'Sean Tate, who should not be in the game, because we know Jae'Sean Tate is undisciplined and he has a habit of fouling jump shooters. If you're a Rockets fan, you know this. So why doesn't Ime Udoka, the head coach of the Rockets, not know that you probably don't want to have this dude in these crunch time possessions defensively on the court? And what happens? He immediately falls for the bait that Marcus Smart pulls on, because Marcus Smart steals the ball and immediately goes to force up a three, because he sees that Jae'Sean Tate's going to run at him. And Jae'Sean Tate runs at him, and he gets the foul. Then he puts in Reed Sheppard, who I was yelling the whole quarter at the game. Prior to that, probably for like 10 minutes prior to that, I was like, get Reed.
Let me pull up the clip.
I was like, get Reed Sheppard out the game. I literally was yelling, get Reed Sheppard out the game, pull him out the game, because you could see it in his face. His confidence was shook. He was struggling to make shots. He was struggling to dribble the ball. He was turning the ball over on his passes. He did not look like he was ready for the moment. You need to not put him in this situation where he's going to...
Get Reed out the game!
Hey, put that...
Doesn't make any sense.
This man, Andrew.
Hey, man, I was saying get him out the game, and I could see it coming. I could see it coming, man. And then he puts it back in the game for we need him to make we got to put our best free throw shooter in so he can make free throws and close out the game. And we're gonna throw it to him in the backcourt, bro. The moment the ball got lobbed into the backcourt, I was like, oh no. Oh no. And
then LeBron came.
And then I see him dribbling, and he dribbling like he got sped up so easily. This dude he immediately was like, oh no, here's LeBron. and then like what happens? He runs right past him. He tries to beat the double team instead of just throwing the ball ahead. Throw the ball ahead to the guy that's open.
Yeah. And
what happens? He gets poke checked by LeBron. LeBron gets the ball thrown back to him on the wing. Yeah. 3-point overtime. Here we go.
No, really, it's not overtime right after that though.
No, you're right. LeBron had a walk-off opportunity. I was about to throw up. I was about to be sick.
Sengun had an opportunity to like walk it off.
Yeah,
but like Ime said after the game they didn't run the play.
They both did, didn't they? Didn't
LeBron have one? Sengun had it first. Yeah. But he said they didn't run the play. Sengun shot the ball, went like on the side of the backboard, and then like LeBron got the rebound, called timeout, and then LeBron's shot went in and out. Man, if that shot went in, Andrew, I probably would have got jumped. I probably got yeah. You probably would have to drive me to the hospital after that, because I would have been going. I was already kind of going crazy. Well, because it was another Laker fan in our section, and everybody else was kind of like Rockets fans. But it was funny. Like the guys in our row, when the Rockets went up 6, they left, and then like overtime, like Andrew saying they came back. He was like, "Oh
Man,
hell."
hey, this just exposes how fake these LeBron stands are. We let the Rockets had this game in the bag. These dudes left the game. Like if you a real basketball head, you a real hoop fan, you don't leave a game with a 6-point game with like 30 seconds left. You don't leave. The game ain't over. But these dudes walked out, and then what happened? They probably got a notification on their phone as they about to leave, and they're like, "Oh no, LeBron can still win!" And these dudes ran back to their seats. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. All right, I hope you see what you associated with, Destin. All right,
No.
I hope you see the type of fans, the fan base that you were part of.
I stayed down because I knew. I said, LeBron ain't gonna let me down. Not in the playoffs. LeBron ain't gonna let me down. And he had like a good scoring night. He had a bunch of turnovers, but he came through with that clutch steal and that 3. That's why he the GOAT, man. That's why he the GOAT. And I'm not gonna get into the whole GOAT debate thing. You got your GOAT. I got my GOAT. But at some point, man, you're gonna have to acknowledge. What this man is doing, what he continues to do year after year after year as the underdog, by the way, and going into this series.
Chill.
At a talent deficit. Your words, not mine. Talent deficit.
No. The context of that was if KD was
Not
playing
trying
in
to
the
hear all
series.
that, Andrew.
Context was KD was playing that series. KD played one game. All right.
And he beat him. Small sample size, but
nah, we ain't doing that. Nah, because if you were to tell me that the Rockets were gonna play this series and it was gonna be no KD and it was gonna be still no Luka, and I guess KD plays one game, Reeves plays 2 games, Luka's out for the series. I'm picking the Lakers to win the series. I'm picking the Lakers to win the series.
I don't think you would have picked that. I don't think you would have picked that.
Yeah. I would have said I would no. I wouldn't have said Lakers gonna steamroll, but I would have said probably Lakers in 6 or Lakers in 7. I would have said that. Because going into the series, I had Lakers in 5. No, I had Rockets in 5. I had Rockets in 5, but it was KD was healthy and playing every single game. And
I had Lakers in 6.
Yeah, so I mean, like,
No, just playing. I had
line his ass. but yeah, no, but like I don't blame you for thinking that because I wasn't gonna hold this against LeBron. Like you lost like your top two of your top 3 players. So I mean,
but if LeBron had lost this, if the Rockets had pulled off this,
hold on. Now that's different. At the Rockets. Well, no. So going into the series, I wasn't gonna hold LeBron because I remember I thought KD was playing, and he was out without his guys. So if KD was playing and he's without those top 2 guys, yeah, I'm not faulting LeBron whatsoever for losing that series. But the context of KD basically only plays one game, he's out for the rest of the series, and you lose a 3-0 lead. Oh no. Now I'm faulting you. Because
so this will be a stain on LeBron's legacy.
No, not a stain, but it would be a blemish. It would be a blemish on the resume because you are the first player in NBA history to blow a 3-0 lead, and the other team didn't have their best player. And I know you 40,
but the Lakers didn't have their best player.
Okay, I know, but you still LeBron James. Right?
He gonna always be LeBron James.
Right? No. But you still a star. Most people consider you still a star. I'm pretty sure he was an all-star this year, right? So even though we could debate the merits of that one, but he was a star. And he is. I believe he's a star still, but he's not. I don't think he's a superstar anymore. But
agreed.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to fault him. It's not gonna be like this the worst thing ever, but it wouldn't. It would be a bad look. And the people that are real LeBron, critics would never let this man here down. They'd always be like, "Oh, Jordan never blew a 3-0 lead." Matter of fact, Kobe never blew a 3-0 lead. Matter of fact, they would have been all kinds of. It would have got real nasty. And this man's 40 plus years old, so it wouldn't have been fair. Like I wouldn't I wouldn't dock him like anything really serious for it, but I would be like, yeah, like this is like,
yeah.
You know what I would say? I would throw it since this is another reason why he's not the GOAT. I would definitely do it.
Okay,
I would definitely do it.
That's fair. That's fair. But that means he still has like things that he can do. Cause you can't hold him. You can't hold him to the standard of like GOAT if he loses in the first round or he gives up a 3-0 lead in the first round.
No. That's no. Let me. I said that would be another reason why he's not the GOAT. You're right. You're right. He has things he can still do. No, but you know what the things he can still do is he can still do things to separate him from everybody else. He can still do things to widen the gap between him and anybody else will put in that conversation. But but for me, the book is shut. He can't do nothing. He can't do nothing to be the GOAT over.
I just think, and you know what's crazy? I've seen something today. Like I don't really like watch like First Take. Well, I don't even know if this was on First Take, but it was like Stephen A. He was saying like how like Michael Jordan Wizards years, he don't count them, but he still counting every little thing LeBron would do. And if LeBron would have gave up a 3-0 lead, he would count that. So why is the and I can tell sometimes what people subconsciously believe based on how much the goalpost moves. You, Andrew, I will give you your credit. Your criteria never changed. You say why you got Jordan number 1, you got LeBron number 2, but you got LeBron on your vote list, and it's well explained. A lot of people, these goalposts move. There's no consistency, and it's getting hard.
And I'll say it. I think LeBron is better than Jordan. I think LeBron's better than Jordan.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem saying that. Yeah, I just don't think he's greater.
But
than Jordan,
my thing is though, greatness. Like, how does what LeBron's doing? Like, even apply the context. Look how old he is. Look how he lost his top 2 scorers. He lost the best player on his team. How does that not continue to factor into his greatness? Like that, everything LeBron is doing, even years he doesn't contend for a championship, those things factor into his greatness. And it's it's not moving it up.
No. I agree. It factors into his greatness, and it's going to make it hard for anybody else to catch LeBron. But I don't think it boosts him over Jordan. That's the thing. Okay. I think because if I'm comparing to him with Jordan, I think that there's something that I'm holding against him that I don't have the same thing to hold against Jordan. And then with everybody else, it's going to be very difficult for anybody to come along in NBA history, whoever's coming up in the next few years or whoever's in the league right now, be it a Jokic, which, oh Lord, we can get to that. Yeah. Whether it's a Jokic or whether it's even an SGA, who people are like, oh, SGA could be the next Jordan. I'm like, because he has the potential to go on a run.
Trying to push SGA past Kobe.
Yeah, they're like, because he is young and he has a really great roster, young talent. They got a lot of potential future draft picks that they could take advantage of. So it's a possibility that team could become something going for some years.
They might get a lottery pick because Clippers.
But to me, the thing that always throws a wrench in that, where I don't buy it, is that injuries are so prevalent in today's game more than ever. So I feel like even you need a lot to break right. And I don't trust that's gonna. I think that's gonna be an issue at some point. It always is for everybody, even the greatest, even LeBron. We've seen LeBron have some amazing years, great teams, and he's had some injuries derail some of his playoff runs. Yeah. We've seen it for everybody, right? So I don't think it's
OKC. They're missing J-Dub.
Mm-hmm.
It probably won't matter when they going against the Lakers, especially with the Lakers missing Luka. But you never know. If they end up playing the Spurs, that could really factor in. So, yeah, But yeah, let's get into your favorite player, Nikola Jokic. So
Oh man.
let me lay the scenery out real quick. So rumor has it the Nuggets wanted the Timberwolves. Like they went on a crazy win streak to end the regular season. They got the 3 seed. Timberwolves fell to 6. They were happy. Because like they could have it could have been like a potential like movement in the standings on that last game of the season, but they was going hard. I think they went against. Is that the Spurs they played on the last game of the season?
Yeah. So like they won that game, but they could have, I guess, they could have
Like if
lost
they
that
lost,
game.
the Lakers would have moved up, and it would have been Nuggets and Rockets.
Yep.
In the first round.
And then they would have had second round though. They would have had OKC.
Yeah. But they said we're gonna avoid OKC until the conference finals potentially. Yeah. We want Minnesota. But boy. and then like Minnesota, like even before the series, I had Nuggets in 6. I think you may have had Nuggets in 5 or something like that.
I had Nuggets in 6.
Yeah, Nuggets in 6. Because Ant, he had their runner's knee. They had some other guys that was kind of banged up. And you can kind of see it like that first game, Minnesota started off pretty good. Like Gobert was defending Jokic well, and then next thing you know, Denver went on a crazy run. Aaron Gordon played that game. Jokic was good. Jamal Murray kept getting to the free throw line, like crazy amount of times in that first game. And Nuggets they pulled it out at the end. Game 2. Nuggets, they started off like really well again, but then that second quarter, I kid you not, like this gonna sound like super extreme. One of the worst defensive quarters I've seen from a big man in my life. Like, if you want to see some bad defense, go watch Jokic, game 2, second quarter versus the Timberwolves. That was an abomination. That was a literal abomination. He was getting attacked in so many different ways. Straight downhill, laying off shooters, pick and roll.
I mean, in this series, if you're gonna be honest,
in every way,
Jokic might have
stretch. I'm not gonna get into that. He was getting humiliated.
Yeah, I mean, in this series, he probably got 3 of the top 10 worst big man defensive quarters you ever seen in this series alone.
Probably so. Probably so.
What's hilarious to me, and it's gonna be, one of the stories of this this playoffs, and really, I think a lot of people are making it one of the stories of this whole series. Is I know you've seen this.
Factor. I mean, when you get down that big against this team, you guys have been in so many battles over the years. Was there a sense of calm even as things were going on?
Like, to be honest, I didn't even know we was down 19. Like, so we just in the game really, and just we get a couple stops. Bench giving us energy, coaches giving us energy, and we're all just ready to play. And that's how we came back.
Everything foul trouble. What goes through your head?
What you say?
When Gobert gets foul trouble, what goes through your head? Now you have to kind of collectively.
We got to take care of the paint. Like not let people get to the paint is easy. Just turn your guy a couple times, pick up full court, whatever you can do to slow them down and keep them out the paint while Rudy's out.
What were some of the keys offensively as to really getting the rhythms?
Go out for Jokic, Jamal, all the bad defenders, Tim Hardaway, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, the whole team. Like, just go at it.
The whole team.
They're all bad defenders.
Yeah, they're all bad defenders.
So just to consider them to take it to them, it feels like you guys constantly attack.
Yeah, just they don't got people that can defend the rim, and if he is there, we still more athletic than them, and just got to be able to finish when we do.
Is there a discipline involved in just staying in that attack mode?
Yeah, you gotta. Just sometimes you gotta know when to attack and when the right moments, and just if it's your time to shoot it or pass it.
That man said they all better. He was saying government names: Tim Hardaway, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon.
What's crazy to me, it's 2 things crazy to me about that clip. is he said this after they were down 19 points in game 2. They come back and win the game. They just tied the series 1-1. It's after game 2, but it's a 1-1 series. Y'all were just getting blown out in that game, and y'all came back. And his takeaway, he comes and he gets on the mic and he's like, he just calls out all their defenders, calls out he takes to another level. He's like, because at first he said just go at their bad defenders, Jokic, Jamal Murray, and then he's like, and he just starts naming everybody. He's like Aaron Gordon. I'm like, he like all of them. He's like, then he says the whole team.
He said the whole team. He said the reporter was like, they're all bad defenders. He's like, they're all bad defenders.
He said they're all bad. I'm like, man. I'm like, he's like, yeah, Gordon, you too. He's like, that's how you know. That's how you know this is actual rivalry. Like this is like the best rivalry right now in the league. Is these teams do not like each other whatsoever, and it's not a question.
Who played in the conference finals last year?
What do you mean? It was OKC and Denver.
In the conference finals?
Yeah, OKC Denver. Because second round was Denver and how am I blanking on this right now? Denver and Minnesota.
I know the Minnesota.
No. It was second round. Denver and OKC was second round. I'm wrong because Minnesota made the conference finals.
Yeah, Minnesota beat.
Minnesota got steamrolled in the conference finals because Minnesota beat the Warriors in the second round.
Sure did because
after Curry got hurt, which honestly I still stand by. I think that the Warriors are going to win that series of Curry.
I agree.
I really do.
I agree. Because they beat us, then they beat but like the year before that, Minnesota was in the conference final. They beat the Nuggets. Yeah. So that's a real it's a real rivalry, and it was like several fights in this series. It was a fight after game 4.
A ton of hold me back moments.
Yeah,
all the hold me back moments. Because you had Jaden McDaniels doing the unwritten rule layup at the end of the game,
and then Jokic gonna run down on him like he was about to do something.
Yeah, that was the most aggressive Jokic has played, quote unquote, defense the whole entire series. He came down here and he ran up like he was gonna do something, and then he just grabbed him on his chest.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's fake when somebody run and he ran. He didn't punch him, but you think normally when somebody's gonna run like that, they're gonna push somebody, right?
Yeah.
He was gonna run and push. He ran and he went. He's like, I don't want to get ejected, but you know what I want to do to you.
I think him and Randall end up just getting fines, but it was crazy because people been talking about Jokic a lot, and I mean rightfully so because you can't lose a series if any other how people were speaking about Jokic, the projections they were making, the things they were saying about him, to lose a series against a team who loses their best player, loses a top 5 player, a starter, whatever, like the team's best shooter, maybe, and DiVincenzo, who
their starting backcourt was out. Yeah. Their best player out. Their best guard off the bench out.
Ayo Dosunmu, who was going crazy on them, who destroyed them in game 4. He dropped 40 off the bench on these dudes, like 43.
In context, I'm gonna keep it a buck. In context, that is the worst playoff series loss for any superstar in NBA history.
Oh man, that's a bold statement.
Yeah, because it is the first round. Your first round, you are notable favorites. The best player on their team is everybody knows he's hobbled. He's not 100%, right?
And he ends up hurting his other leg.
Even in the games he played, he's not that great. He's okay at best. He was shooting like 30-something% in the series, right? Mm-hmm. So he's struggling to do what he's known for doing well. He's still trying to play through it.
Yeah.
And then they lose him. Y'all go down 3-1. They also lose their next backcourt player, who's a great role player, great shooter, in Dante DiVincenzo for the series, for the playoffs. Torn Achilles. We know Anthony Edwards going forward is probably going to me, I think he's going to be out for the whole playoffs. I'd be shocked if he's back, right?
Only way they got to get past San Antonio some type of way. Yeah, and they got to make it interesting versus OKC for him to really come back.
Like, to me, if you're like a Minnesota fan, that's me. Salute y'all, because that sucks. That's like the worst kind of like y'all actually had a chance to maybe shock and do something and maybe go on another run, maybe to another conference finals. Who knows what could happen with the Jalen, Williams injury for OKC, and y'all just get decimated by injuries. Y'all somehow pull this off, and then y'all know it's a wrap. Y'all, they are not beating the Spurs unless the Spurs also get some crazy injuries or something. They're not getting through that series. To me, Anthony Edwards, that injury is like a month at least. Like he's basically got 2 injuries. He's out for at least a month. They can't buy him a month.
It's a bone bruise, right? It's a bone bruise.
It's a bone bruise, and he got a hyperextension on his knee, and he also got runner's knee and the other knee that he was already dealing with. So like,
just wrap it up, man.
Yeah, you don't want to play with that. So that's at least a month if you're lucky, and that's like, oh, these dudes got to make the finals without him. Like, it's not gonna happen. So I mean, that's a tough loss. But when you look at like this is the context for Jokic. Like, you have home court advantage. You're the notable favorite. They're missing so many key guys, and their best player is not 100% and is out for half of the series basically, and you lose. And not just that, you also get clamped up in multiple games. You put on some absolute disgusting defensive performances. So you are a pivotal reason why your team lost. It wasn't like, oh, Jokic was playing out of his mind. He was dropping 35 a night and he was averaging crazy numbers, and his team just couldn't help him. They couldn't make shots, and nobody could do anything but Jokic. It's like, no. Jokic, like, you were a big part of the problem. And to me, like, this is a knock to his all-time legacy, because you got to put into context. There's a lot of guys, because a lot of people are going to talk about this. Yes, Jamal Murray did not play well. Jamal Murray played absolutely terrible in this series, apart from those raw averages. Yeah, like, his shooting numbers are, if you pull up his shooting numbers, bro, don't even look at it. It's nasty. But his shooting,
he would lie so much on tough shot making, but he was making all these tough shots versus the Lakers, bro.
Yeah, when he don't see the Lakers in the playoffs, it's another story. I swear, when he see purple and gold, this man. But here's the thing, like, with Jamal Murray, he was bad in this playoffs, absolutely. We've seen a lot of stars. You already know what angle I'm going, but this is true for everybody. We've seen a lot of stars over the years go into a series, and their next co-star is either not available or not playing on a good or high level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't go out like this, right? They don't go out like this. And so I can't give Jokic the excuse of, oh, Jamal Murray wasn't playing well, and Jamal Murray would have a bad series. No. Like, that's one thing if you're talking about winning the championship and going all the way, right? But you didn't even win a playoff series where the other team had what? How many guys out? No, I don't give you the Jamal Murray excuse for this series. Yeah. I would give you the Jamal Murray excuse if this was against OKC, or if this was deeper, maybe next round against the Spurs. Okay, whatever. You're going to need him. But, like, this is a team where you were favored against, and they were missing that many top guys. There are tons of guys over the years
favored
who have not
had
injuries. Yes, there's a ton of guys over the years who have not had that co-star show up and be who they need to be, and they made it out of round one against, as the favorites. And it wasn't in this situation where they also had all these injuries in their favor. So I'm not giving them that excuse, even though I know people are going to point to Jamal Murray, and I understand Jamal Murray didn't play well, but no. Jokic, this is the biggest actual, I think, who's getting the perception boost out of this series? It's Rudy Gobert. It's Rudy Gobert, 1, and Jaden McDaniels, number 2, because a lot of people didn't have Jaden McDaniels on their radar like that. They knew him that he's a good defender. He's a solid,
he actually had like one of the best like years, like at least like offensively of his career. Like probably the best.
Like this is like the most two-way star he's ever looked like. Like he's actually gotten a real case for it. Like I was surprised. I was impressed by him offensively this series because he was making some shots and making some decisions offensively that I wasn't sure that he was gonna make, And so
he backed up the talk. He said they go at
backed up the talk, and that's the thing. Like whenever I like it when guys talk and then they go out and do it more than when they talk after they did it. Because it shows how much you actually believed it and how much it was things just went your way, and now I'm gonna talk after the fact because it's another thing when you say something up front and then you go out and do it. And so that right there, he definitely gets a lot of boost out of that. But Gobert to me has always been a player that gets dogged. Like just everybody kills this dude. Every fan base. I've done it before too. I'm not even gonna lie. But a part of the reason why I did it was like it was things I didn't dog him as like a one-on-one defender or like that he's a great elite defender and can help boost the team's defense. It was that he just struggled against certain types of matchups defensively. And it wasn't really like just him. It was a lot of guys. A lot of centers were struggling in these situations. But he just happened to find himself always in these situations where he was guarding a Luka pick and roll isolation or a Harden pick and roll isolation in the playoffs. And that's gonna, it's not gonna go your way. And it's because you're in those situations so often because you get your team, you're on teams that are in the playoffs making these runs, you're gonna have the magnifying glass on you, right? And yeah, like he struggles to guard and pick and roll when you have a great rim runner and Luka Doncic. You have a great rim runner and James Harden. Because that floater, the lob, he would just get, it would make him look bad. And there's not really many guys that it wouldn't make look bad. Like there's not, it's a problem. So I mean, like it's not really fair to just look at him and be like, oh, like this guy was a fake defensive player of the year. He's not really elite. He's not one of the best defenders. No, he showed it. He showed it on the biggest stage in the NBA playoffs. I mean, as big a stage as you can get for like two Western Conference teams in the first round.
Against the best center of his generation.
Against the best center or the best offensive player in the league.
Yeah.
So I mean,
the best offensive player of all time.
Some would say, who are not saying this so much anymore.
Yeah.
But, so I mean, like, yeah, he played amazingly. He was sending Jokic's stuff back, blocking him, guarding him in the post. He was,
like of course. I mean, you spoke a lot about his defense, which I mean, I would just agree wholeheartedly. He was amazing guarding Jokic one-on-one. Jokic was pretty good on him like the last couple games, but he wasn't just dominating Gobert like completely. But but his some of the like that pass he made was that third. Bro,
the wraparound pass to the corner
with the offhand. Like number one, why are y'all like coming to help on Rudy Gobert in the short roll, which is crazy. Like Jokic is there, and then somebody else like come off the corner for whatever reason, like Rudy Gobert gonna shoot a mid-range shot or something in the short roll, and then Rudy Gobert make a wraparound pass with his left hand to I think it was Terrence Shannon for three.
I'm gonna be honest, I ain't never seen him make that pass ever. I ain't never seen him make that pass ever. not like that. Not like that. I've seen him like just throw it out he did the wraparound and it was a perfect like on the money in the shooter's pocket. I'm like, hold on.
The Jokic pay, he put in a Jokic.
That was Rudy Govich.
But he was making other like good passes out of the short roll, but that pass was like
that was Rudy Govich, man.
Rudy Govich.
But
that's gonna be a good match. I want to see him versus Wemby. Like you win against Jokic, the greatest center of this generation. Now let's see you want to go against the potential greatest center of the next generation.
I really wonder if Ayo is gonna be back for that series at least. Hopefully
they're gonna need him
back. Yeah, but I just don't give them. I got Spurs in 5. I don't. Maybe it goes 6.
Yeah, I just don't think they got enough like creators, especially with San Antonio defense. Like you got Julius Randle. Ayo got to be back. Jaden McDaniels gonna have to continue to prove his offensive leap. Gonna have to play Terrence Shannon more. Gonna have to play Mike Conley more. The old Mike Conley.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing that's killed me too. Terrence Shannon. This dude, they just literally. Chris Finch just rolled this man out of bed. He's like, all right, you in the rotation.
No, but crazy though.
Just go to the rim.
Like, Terrence Shannon had some good like surprising games this year. Like I remember he had a game versus the Rockets. He was just like going.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that game. I know what game you're talking about. That's the game. Oh hell no. I remember that game. Oh man.
This man Terrence Shannon was going crazy on the Rockets.
That game was an embarrassment. That's the game where I think we blew like the 16-point lead in like overtime or something. It's crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Terrence Shannon. Shout out to the Timberwolves. Shout out to Rudy. Shout out to Jaden McDaniels. Jokic, you are a fraud. Still amazing.
Well, yeah. A fraud when it comes to the greatest center of all time or the greatest offensive player of all time. I'm sorry, but that doesn't mean you still a great player.
Still amazing player.
It calls into question if you were going up against multiple times a year David Robinson, Akeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, maybe I don't know, even Patrick Ewing. If you were going up against these dudes multiple times a season, would you just be dominating them nightly? Or would there be some games where you might look like this against Rudy Gobert some nights?
Because I mean, like even
and he still had a good series.
I tried to look back at his his playoff run and like who he went against, and I know that they swept the Lakers in the conference finals. And Lakers was a 6 seed. They had was having a bad year. They made the trade. Then the Lakers was a 7th seed if I'm not mistaken. Because they had to go through the play-in. So Lakers was a 7th seed.
They played 8-4, 7-8, which is nasty that they got to play that for a finals run. 8-4, 7-8.
Yeah, which is crazy. But like that Lakers team back in the bubble was built to like be Jokic because
people forget they had Dwight Howard, and Dwight Howard actually did a pretty good job on Jokic. Yeah. I think he was a better matchup for Jokic than Anthony Davis, but
yeah, for sure. Because number one, like people like they were demanding a lot. Like they demanded so much of AD, which I don't think like I don't know if it was like kind of fair because they wanted AD to match Jokic offensively at least, and then lock up Jokic defensively, which is crazy. But I mean, like,
probably there's probably the one thing that they're like. I mean, obviously it's whatever now. But maybe the Lakers should have actually kept Dwight just for that.
Yeah,
just for that.
Because I mean, when they had AD at the 4 and Dwight at the 5, man, Jokic.
Yeah, you could just roll him off the bench. You could just roll him off the bench. He could because some of them games were close, could have went either way.
Yeah.
If you just have Jokic
dominated the like I think I said time ahead or time with the lead. Lakers like dominated that.
Yeah.
But then
if you have this Dwight get Jokic to miss, I don't know, 3 or 4 more shots in a few different games.
Making some of the, but still AD was playing a defense.
But he's just like
stupidest shots ever. This dude was making like it was like Lakers would play perfect defense for 23 seconds, and then Jokic would fling it from behind his head at the 3-point line several times throughout that series. But
I remember that, yeah. Man, but there were some in the rim and some in the paint that like I feel like that's where
and Jamal Murray, we couldn't guard Jamal Murray at all. Jamal Murray was amazing that series too, but. Yeah, it goes to show. I mean, Jokic. I mean, I don't want to take something away from a player like some of these players they have to have they run when they dominate. Like Giannis had their run when he was really good, especially in the finals. He was amazing. He had that amazing closeout game. Ever since then, he ain't did nothing either. Like in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But a lot of it because of injury.
You need a lot to go your way. Even when you're an all-time great, a lot of these dudes that are in the leagues are great players that have won championship. A lot has to break your way just to get one. A lot of times, you got to have that injury luck go your way, and you got to sometimes have some
KD foot be on the line.
Yeah, ball bounce. Harden tore his hamstring. Kyrie stepped on Giannis's foot. Mm-hmm. And
the Giannis did that on purpose.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That seemed like it was something that like they should. It's almost like a play that I don't know a rule could have got instituted for. It seemed like it should have been a flagrant, in my opinion. But yeah. So, anyways, it don't really matter. But yeah. So,
but Jokic. It's all about how you gonna respond to it. I don't know how, because the problem really wasn't his offense to me. Rudy Gobert was really good on him. Like some of these nights,
Yeah, like maybe like
But
3 of the
I
games.
expect Jokic to kind of be better offensively. But now, I do think a small part of the problem is his offense because when
No,
Jokic gets to the playoffs,
his efficiency was a big drop from what it
yeah,
was in the regular
his
season. Like,
efficiency drops off, and
he was like 44% or something like that.
the way Jokic is able to play make, for like regular season versus playoffs, at least against competent defensive teams, it really changes because like his getting not interior passes, but like assists like to the rim isn't as easy. Like for Jokic in the like because he isn't creating like it's just weird. Like 'cause he is one of the greatest playmakers ever, but a lot of the great playmakers of all time come from the perimeter. Like you got players getting downhill, creating windows of passing. Um, Harden run a pick and roll, get downhill, weak side help, Harden make that pass, boom. Or going downhill, big man got to step up, that's a lob. Different thing like that. Jokic is like, if it's not like transition and not helping, like there's a lot of stuff you can't take away because he's not a superior athlete that can just continuously get downhill, create all these different advantages. And if he isn't making these tough shots like he was making that year versus the Lakers, his efficiency gonna drop, and then he's not getting a lot of assists. Philly up 15-6 right now, 6 minutes left in the first. But yeah, so his offense is kind of in question, but his defense is really bad, and it's getting worse. So it's hard to see.
And a part of that is the lack of Aaron Gordon, because Aaron Gordon has been covering for him in a lot of these playoff series.
Peyton Watson,
he's really, I mean, after Jokic, that's probably their low key. I mean, he might be their most important player. You could say Jamal Murray too, but but like for their defense, he's so pivotal. Like for them to win a championship, like I think Jamal Murray could be doing what Jamal Murray's doing, and Jokic could be doing Jokic doing. They're not going to win if they don't have Aaron Gordon to be able to bolster that defense. So they obviously probably would still win this series, but I think that he's pivotal for them because he's able to switch and be a rim protector, and really just pick up for a lot of like he provides that athleticism at the rim that Jokic just doesn't have whatsoever. So
yeah,
he hasn't been right in like 2 years.
Yeah, like
honestly, the last time he was right was first round last year against the Clippers. That pissed me off. But yeah, man, he was fantastic.
He was playing crazy.
He was fantastic in that series. Like
he was clutch.
He was hitting threes. He was switching. He was defending the rim. He was like, he was doing everything. And then he got hurt.
Good shot.
He got hurt in the next round, right? Or they
played OKC. That went 7. Him and Porter Jr. was hurt. Like Porter Jr. was playing with like one shoulder.
Yeah, that Porter Jr. Cam Johnson swap basically ain't looking too good right now. I'm not the biggest MPJ dude.
I was watching something and it was like somebody said like 40% 3-point shooters aren't created equally. And even though like shout out to Cam though, he did ball out in that last game 6. He was hooping. He was doing what he was called to Denver to do. But like throughout the season, like Cam, he didn't start the season well. He kind of picked it up and started to play really well, started to shoot the ball well. Good attack, Jaylen Brown. But it's just a different level of like it's like spacing or like aggression that like Michael Porter Jr. provided for that team that Cam Johnson just didn't. Like Porter Jr. like he used to just take some shots and used to be like, oh no, but it worked out because like that's what they kind of needed for him. Cam Johnson, he wouldn't take those.
Yeah. Cam Johnson, he'll take the open shots, but if it's a hard closeout, he might not take it. Yeah. Porter Jr., he'll take the hard closeout. He'll take they on me and contested. I'm gonna pull it in their face. Yeah. He's still gonna take it.
And they needed that volume, like whether it was considered a good shot or not. Like Porter Jr., he was like almost 7 feet, so some of those contests he didn't really see either. I feel like Cam Johnson, he plays with like higher IQ than Porter Jr. But Porter Jr. still like, especially during that championship run, he provided good rebounding, good defense. So, and how many did they trade like a bunch of picks for him too? I can't remember.
Nah, I think it was another player. I'm trying to remember. I feel like it was somebody else that they traded, but it was almost a straight up swap. But it was MPJ and something else. No. I think they received something else actually, because I think that MPJ. I have to look at that deal again. But it was almost a straight up swap. The thought process I think was that Cam Johnson was supposed to be a better defender, and I mean he's not
bad, but
yeah, but it's not it's not notable enough to like make that big of a difference. So
yeah.
I kind of was like, I thought Detroit should have went for MPJ because I feel like he was available,
Man,
and somebody they could have made a move for, somebody like that. And MPJ, heck, just like I thought the Rockets should have went for Ayo, Detroit could have went for Ayo DeSumo. So, I mean, we're gonna see what happens Game 7. But like, if the Pistons don't win this Game 7. They definitely gonna be. I still think even going forward in the playoffs, they're still gonna be looking like, oh, we should have made a move, but not a big move either.
Regardless, if they make the conference finals, like they should still look to beef up their offense. Like the defense is good. Like you still keep Asar Thompson, you still keep your core players, Jalen Duren. Oh, good lay, VJ. Maybe even Isaiah Stewart, who's a hothead, but he's a really good rim protector, really good defender. But yeah, guys like Tobias, Caris LeVert, try to get off there.
Bundle them dudes out, send them in a package.
I'm sure Detroit has picks too. They could probably.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they've been trying to see like they kind of been playing with house money. They were like they didn't want to like do anything. That's my thought process. What it seemed like they just didn't want to like take any risks. They're like, oh, we're number 1 seed. We're having a great season. Nobody thought we were gonna be this good. We didn't think we were gonna be this good. But sometimes you gotta just take advantage of the situation you got because you don't know how big these windows are gonna be.
Yeah.
Right now, this is a prime. It's a wide open quote unquote Eastern Conference, right? So
yeah, but
it's looking more. It's looking really wide open, more wide open than ever right now. Because look at all these teams getting Game 7s right now.
Yeah.
In the first round, the only team that's like, I think it's
the Knicks.
The Knicks are the only team that, and the Knicks didn't look that great. Yeah, they didn't look that great for a minute either. So
they were down 2-1.
Yeah, and the Pistons had great success against the Knicks. Mm-hmm. So like, that's we shall see what happens. Right now, I know the Pistons are cheering for the Raptors to win the series tomorrow. So, please,
we're gonna see, man.
Basketball gods, do us right.
Who is us?
No more crazy about.
I want y'all to understand Drew's teams. Drew has 3 teams. Yeah, the Rockets, whatever team Harden is on. And the Raptors, and that's in order of
all right. See, this is easy explanation. All right, when I was a kid growing up, I was never a Raptors fan. I was a Vince Carter fan. I was a Vince Carter fan. Like I liked Vince Carter, but then I left and I came to Houston, and my time of really loving basketball, watching basketball, playing basketball, being consumed with the game was when I was a Rockets fan, right? That was when like basketball became like a fixture where I really cared and was interested in it on more than just like I like this player, I'm a fan of this player, because I was like also a Jordan fan, and I was Jordan fan, and I was a Vince Carter fan, right? And then like I was a fan of a lot of different players, but I didn't have a quote unquote team. Like I didn't look at the Raptors and be like, that's my team. It was like, Vince Carter, like he's amazing, and the dunks and things like that. But it was never like beyond that. It was always just like certain players. Like, I was a Paige Stojakovic fan. I was a Chris Webber fan. I like the Kings, but I never was a Kings fan. You know, I like that complementary set of players. But then I became a Rockets fan. I became and like
Mike
and then,
Bibby,
like I
too.
yeah.
Mike Bibby.
Oh yeah. I was my big fan too. But yeah, I became a Rockets fan, like, and that became like my team. And like here, like I would watch consistently, and I would know like the ins and outs of the roster and the history, and it wasn't just like I'm rooting for this player. And so like that became like like I care more about the team. Like it would be cool if the Raptors and Toronto and Ontario and Canada had playoff success and they made the finals. So I'd root for them, but it'd be like if the Rockets were playing the Raptors on like a random regular season game, I want the Rockets to win because I want us to go to the championship, you know? But it was like, hey, I'll be down for a Rockets and Raptors playoffs or finals, but that ain't gonna happen because, like, you know, for most of the time, like the Raptors have never really been a good franchise like that. And then 2019 was the only time where it could have possibly happened because the Raptors had a really good team and they were making a run, and then the Rockets had a still perceived contender, and you know, like that was like the only year, and I was definitely, you know, pulling for that. But yeah, I would have still rooted for the Rockets.
Where did James Harden come into play?
All right, so James Harden has been the best Rocket of my lifetime. Has been the best Rocket of my actual really watching basketball lifetime. Because we ain't counting when I'm when I'm a little kid and Hakeem Olajuwon is a Rocket. We ain't counting that. But like yeah, so that he was the best player, and I feel like a lot of like all my adulthood of watching the Rockets has been James Harden Rockets, right? So like I've seen like 90%, 95% of the games he's played, and I've seen all of the narratives and all of the arguments that people have made for and against him, and I've seen the stuff that I think is completely disingenuous and not accurate for what his perceived standing is in the league as far as like all time and as a star, and that people consider him like one of the worst playoff performers of all time, and that he's a massive choker, and that he's like, people look at him and I'm like, bro, like this dude is better than most of these guys that are in the playoffs that y'all consider like quality playoff performers, and they treat James Harden like, if you have him on the team, you're not winning the series. I'm like, bro, like this dude's won so many series, he's won so many playoff games, and these dudes act like, I look around the league and I'm like, some of these dudes that they put over, I'm like, it blows my mind. Like some of this, and it's all because of really like a handful of games, a narrative off of like 5 games in his playoff career has shaped this man's entire playoff career. And
I don't know if it's just 5 games.
It's really like you could maybe push to like 7, but I'm not counting the Brooklyn series in that. I'm not counting when this man was playing on one leg.
Yeah, not the Brooklyn series.
But people will count that in there. They'll be like, "Oh my God!" Like LeBron, they'll literally pull up his stats and be like, "Oh, the elimination game and 20," and they'll throw that in there because the whole thing.
What about the elimination game last year?
Elimination game last year, yeah, that was a bad performance. But to me, I don't look at
the game versus the Celtics.
Yes, that's those right there. The Celtics. The Spurs won. The Spurs won. The Celtics won. What's the other one? The other big one. Those are the really only ones I count. And for me personally, I count the Blazers one. I count the Blazers series, right? But what people will do is they'll count.
You told me, hold on, Andrew. We were just talking about that after Embiid just made the craziest shot. That's crazy. We were talking about it. You said Harden was good in that series.
No. He was good in the elimination game.
Oh, game 6. Okay.
Yeah. The series, I don't know. Remember, I've maintained that's the only series to me where I think Harden choked in the series. Like he did not play well for the series. Now for the elimination game, he played well. I think he played well for the last the game 4, 5, and 6. He played well, but the first 3 games, the first 2 games at home, he was terrible. And that was a series in which that's the only series where the Rockets that I can recall. Not that I recall. That's the only series where the Rockets were the favorites going into it that Harden lost. Every other series Harden lost, he was not the favorite. The series that he lost as a Rocket. Every series other than that, when they went into the series, Harden lost the series. He won the series as the favorite, except for that Portland series. And so, but the narrative is even though he's expected to lose, and y'all have him this low when he gets into these playoff situations, y'all now expect him to win, even though y'all had him down as so like in 2015 that team's not supposed to make the playoffs, but then they made the conference finals. Oh, he choked against the Warriors. Oh, in 2017 that team's not supposed to make the playoffs. Dwight Howard's gone. They just got Eric Gordon. They got Eric Gordon and Ryan Anderson. These guys are just injured bums that can't really do anything, or whatever. And Harden, they're not going to make the playoffs. That's the prediction for most of the season. You check the analysts that year; they all had the Rockets not making the playoffs. Right? The Rockets are the third seed in the West, and they lose to the Spurs in the second round. Harden has a terrible game 6. Kawhi's not playing. And oh my God, Harden choked. Oh, it's his fault why the Rockets didn't win. The reason why the Rockets didn't win the championship is because of Harden. If only Harden was good enough, they would have won the championship. No, y'all didn't even have them making the playoffs. But now they're supposed to have won the championship, and now they're supposed to have gone all the way and beat the Spurs. Y'all had the Spurs win the series. Y'all didn't even have the Spurs.
Context. No, Kawhi was hurt.
Yeah, Kawhi got hurt and he didn't play the last game.
Yeah, he didn't play the last game, and then Harden was despicable in game 6.
Harden was despicable. Yes. Now, to me,
it's the Jokic thing all over again.
No, it's not, because no, get the hell no, because Kawhi played most of that series. The Rockets won 2 of the games. The Rockets won was with Kawhi playing, right?
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing: they were not favored. The Spurs were still the favorites. The Spurs were still expected to win the series. They still had home court advantage. And here's another thing. I look at, like, we talk about, the rosters and who these, like, I would have rather had LaMarcus Aldridge as my number 2 than Ryan Anderson or Eric Gordon as my number 2 if I'm James Harden. But yeah, like, that to me, I think of a thing that's I think is disingenuous about the narrative when it comes to Harden. And I think that this is why I stand by it. These quote unquote disasters or disappearing games from Harden have been majority, to me, him running out of gas, him having to do too much over the course of a series, playoffs, regular season, and then as the games continue to go, he wears down in the playoffs. That's what I think is and because I've seen him also not have those situations. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. That there wasn't the narrative wasn't, oh my God, he's just like,
2021
collapsed.
Well, he was hurt.
Well, no, but he was good prior to the injury. Like, he got hurt and then but like he was hoping.
I'm trying to think, because he was 2021. He was going crazy, but he wasn't getting credit because he requested trade. But he was good versus Boston, and he got hurt.
He got hurt against but in 2020 he had a good series against the Lakers. 2019 he had an amazing series against the Warriors, right? And 2018 we ain't even gonna talk about it, but you already know what I'm gonna say about that. I think he had a great game 7 against the Warriors. And it should have been even a greater game 7 against the Warriors.
Started game 6 going crazy. I thought they were gonna win game 6 the way they started, and then Klay Thompson went stupid.
But yeah, so I mean, like, that's where I think the narrative is, because people take that narrative of, like, these games that he's had that are bad to make you be like, oh, this dude is a bad playoff performer. He doesn't show up in the playoffs. All he does is disappear. He's terrible, or like he can never show up in a game 6 or 7. We gonna see tonight. No, we gonna see tomorrow how Harden plays in this game 7. But I know at home he's actually been good in game 7s. It's on the road he's had his disaster game 7s he's had on the road. But at home, the only game 7s he's lost at home, I would believe, was the Hammy Harden game with Brooklyn, which I'm not even gonna count that. But when he was on one leg and KD dropped 50 or whatever, he dropped 40 and on the phone, it was a decoy, but that's one of the losses. You have the game 7 against the Warriors in 2018. That's his other home game 7 loss. And then you have
Didn't they beat the Clippers?
You have the
They beat the Clippers because the Clippers.
no. Yeah, they did beat the Clippers. I'm talking about the bad ones because
Okay.
the Clippers. He won that one. The only ones that he lost that were the Warriors Game 7 2018 and the Nets 2021 against the Bucks where he was
talking about the home Game 7s.
Yeah, home Game 7s.
Okay.
The other ones were on the road.
Not the one when Tatum gave him 50, right? Almighty Jason Tatum. Hey man, I don't care about that.
No, I'm playing, but yeah.
I'm tuning in right now though.
but nah.
With a shot there.
We gonna see, but yeah, I'm be locked in on that game. You already know.
So before we close out, so like final predictions for Game 7. I got Pistons, I got Cavs, and I got Sixers. Yeah. And you got the same?
Yeah, I mean, the one you said Jason Tatum was out, that made me say the Sixers.
Yeah.
So Sixers tonight, and it's already they having a good start. but yeah, Sixers tonight.
Derek White actually having starting good though. Derek White having a pretty good game.
Yeah, and Orlando, yeah, I still got them losing even if Franz plays because he's probably gonna be limited, and I just don't trust them. So Detroit moving on. And then Cleveland, I think that they hold serve, win Game 7 at home. I don't want to say it's going to be a BTA game, but I feel like it might be but yeah. So I feel like the shot making for the Raptors, that 3-point variance got to kick in at some point. You would think the 3-point, maybe it won't. Maybe it's gonna kick in. Maybe it won't, but we're going to find out. We're going to see if Scotty Barnes can keep doing what he's doing and RJ Barrett can keep doing what he's doing.
Man, Tatum had a nice drive to the rim.
Yeah, so.
All right, Boston showing some life.
And we didn't really touch on, but we don't really got to. Wemby and the Spurs move on, steamrolled the Blazers. Wemby did have a scare, had a concussion, got hurt, looked crazy, came back. He looks fine. I missed one game. They're about to have really an ideal playoff run set up for them right now because things could not have fallen perfectly for them. You got the Blazers, which they're the Blazers, so whatever, and then you have the
injured Timberwolves,
the massively injured Timberwolves, which y'all should be able to take care of, and you should be able to have a short series, so not risking injuries or having to prolong the series likely. Then you might have a not 100% Thunder. Maybe Jalen Williams ain't right. And y'all have had success against them in the regular season. I mean, it's not a easy team, but that's a matchup that y'all like.
I mean, that was killing OKC in the regular season.
Yeah, so that's a matchup y'all like. So it's almost like Detroit. It's like Detroit and the Knicks. Like Detroit's been dominating the Knicks in the regular season. Detroit wants the Knicks. If they can get but they'd have to get to the conference finals for that. But I know, if Toronto wins this Game 7 tomorrow, Detroit gets things lined up for them possibly. So I mean, we'll see.
It'll be interesting. Some of the stuff we didn't think was gonna end up playing out, but
yep.
Well, Drew, you got anything else before we end the stream?
Nah, man. I'm about to lock
into this game. Hopefully we can come back on. We can get some second round predictions sometime soon. But appreciate whoever comes and watches the video. Make sure y'all like the video for us, and we out, man. Appreciate it. It was good to be back. Good to be back. It's been a minute, but yeah.